Hello everyone, welcome back to Ryan Reacts. This is going to be part 2 of the Q&A video I came out with last week. This is going to be the answers. You guys asked a few questions, so I'm going to put them out the answers. I tried to get this out yesterday, but I'm going to be a little late. Sorry about that. First question by Eric Liebold. What are your thoughts on Gideon? Thus far, he reminds me of a very stereotypical, malicious, twisted preacher figure. If any of you are old school wrestling fans from the 80s, I get a strong brother love vibe off of him. I love you, Mabel. Except it's genuine and weird and crazy and creepy. But that's kind of what he reminds me of. He reminds me strongly of Brother Love and the I'm pretending to be a good, wholesome Christian preacher, but truth is I'm just a con man taking your money and trying to get influence and shit like that. That's kind of what he. Next question. I'm gonna read this off the cell phone so I get it right. By Stan Pines. What do you think about Gravity Falls so far? And who is your favorite character? Thus far, I think it's an excellent show. It makes me laugh quite a bit. Very interesting writer. It's a bit off from what I'm typically thinking of when I think of Disney cartoons. A little bit more grown up, a little bit more serious, a little bit more creepy, which all good things in my opinion without going too far, which also worries me. I have a tendency towards really bad dreams, so if they go too far, it might freak me out. Especially if they do zombies. I don't deal in zombies. Zombie nightmares are terrible. I would say my favorite character is probably Grunkle Stan. I truly believe that an uncle's job or an aunt's job or cousin's job, distant relatives, is to be a mildly bad influence upon the kids. Just enough to make them question their parents' bullshit if their parents do have bullshit that they're teaching. No parents are perfect. It's important to teach kids to think for themselves, to go off in their own direction, and if you're going to do it at the same time, encourage them to try things that they haven't tried. That's a very important thing to me. I think Grunkle Stan, in his weird, crazy conman way, actually does a great job of that. I also love him because he's just so upfront about being a conman. Well, I'm going to rob you, and that's that. Fuck you. I love it. It's just wonderful. It's just so upfront right there. Next, by Metal Guy 40. If MLP, Friendship is Magic, and Gravity Falls do a crossover, what do you think would happen? This is the question that actually kind of held me back. I was trying to think it out, specifics, but honestly, I came up with just general idea. So we'd get 4 main characters of the show on each side. Dipper loves being studious, reading books about magic and mysticism and creepy stuff like that. I think him and Twilight would hit it off like that, because they both have that in common. Mabel would love Fluttershy and her cottage full of cute little fluffy animals she can cuddle. Seuss, I think he and Pinkie Pie could paint the town pink and red. I think they could have a brilliant time together. They both seem to be very random and silly that way. At first, I was thinking that Grunkle Stan would be a problem, but then I thought about Rarity. Pony who can find huge cut gems hidden in the rocks. Grunkle Stan would worship that pony. He would do anything to keep in her favor. And I think eventually they'd grow into something and they'd actually have a partnership or business arrangement going on. I think those two could get along famously. So at first I was thinking Grunkle Stan is the source for the conflict, but then I realized that probably would work out that way. So my thought is one of the scheming villains from either show meets one another and plays one against the other side. There was an old crossover from Superman animated series where the Joker stops by and they agree to like swap villains. I kind of think there's something along those lines might happen. Gideon agrees to do something for Queen Chrysalis, perhaps, and Queen Chrysalis goes after the Pines family. I think that could be a good way. And the final question, what's your favorite color? I'm going to go with purple. It was red for a long time, it was green for a while, it was blue after that. But ultimately it's settled lately on purple, especially since I've moved to Pennsylvania. I'm back from Minnesota. That's the color of the Vikings. It's the color of Prince. In the purple rain. By the way, Prince, cut out the anti-YouTube shit, or I'm going to start singing your songs and then they will be ruined forever. Just keep that in mind. His purple is his signature color. Then it's also the color of the Joker, one of the greatest villains in the history of literature. I don't even say comics, I say literature in general. He's just fantastic villain. There, of course, in the last couple years has been a couple other things that have made me like the color purple. Other than that, yeah, that's got to go what I'm going to go with on that. Alright, thank you for watching. Please like, share, please comment, subscribe. But above all else, as always, of course, please have a nice day.